Okay, if you've ever been in charge of a big international meeting, I'm willing to bet you've stared at the budget and asked yourself this exact question. Do we really need two simultaneous interpreters? And look, it's a totally fair question. Over the next few minutes, we're going to dive into why the answer is almost always a resounding yes.
So let's just get right to it, right? The temptation to save some cash is completely understandable. You see two people on the budget for what seems like a one-person job, and your first instinct is, naturally, to make a cut. I mean, they're bilingual, they can just listen and talk at the same time. How hard could that possibly be?
And this slide right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. On one side, you've got the simple assumption, let's save some money. But on the other side, well, that's the professional reality. The risk you're taking isn't just about having a tired interpreter, it's the incredibly high chance of mental burnout, which leads directly to mistakes, miscommunication, and, potentially a disaster for your event.
Yeah, this brings us to what people in the industry call the single interpreter myth. It's a belief that usually comes from a good place. You're just trying to be efficient, but it's based on a complete misunderstanding of what this job actually takes.
And honestly, it's an easy trap to fall into. You'd think, surely one person is enough, right? It seems so logical on the surface. But let's pull back the curtain for a second and see what's really happening in that booth, and why that logic just completely falls apart under pressure.
So to really blow this myth out of the water, we have to understand what simultaneous interpretation actually is, because this is an incredibly high-intensity profession that demands so much more than just knowing a couple of languages.
This slide really breaks down that hidden workload. This isn't just about being bilingual. We're talking about maintaining this insane, unwavering, laser-like focus. Just think about it for a second. You are listening, processing complex information, analyzing cultural nuances, and then perfectly rebuilding that entire message in another language, all in real time. It's a massive cognitive juggling act, and if even one of those balls drops, you suddenly get wrong numbers, dropped ideas, or a tone that's completely off. This takes years of training and constant practice.
Now, all of that intense mental work runs headfirst into a very solid wall, the biological limit of human concentration. It doesn't matter how talented or experienced an interpreter is, our brains, they just have a breaking point.
And here it is. This is the magic number you've got to remember. 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. Study after study shows that's the absolute maximum time an interpreter can keep up that peak performance. After that 20-minute mark, mental fatigue slams down hard, and the risk of missing a crucial detail or a subtle joke, it just skyrockets.
This quote really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? Just imagine you had to give a detailed, non-stop, 8-hour speech. Just you, talking. You'd be absolutely wiped out, right? Mentally, physically, just done. Now imagine doing that while also translating someone else's complex 8-hour speech at the exact same time. It's a full-on mental marathon.
Okay, so if the human brain has this hard limit, how does the industry solve the problem? Well, there's really only one way to guarantee quality from the very first minute of your event to the very last one, and that's by using a team.
And here's how that teamwork actually works. It's pretty clever. While interpreter A is live on the mic, interpreter B isn't just kicking back and relaxing. Oh no, they are actively listening, they're tracking the conversation, they're looking up tricky words or acronyms, and they're jotting down key numbers to make sure the handover is totally seamless. Then, every 15 or 20 minutes, they switch. This tag team approach ensures there's always a fresh, focused mind on the mic. It is the secret to maintaining that high level of accuracy for hours on end.
Which brings us right back around to where we started, that budget question. But now, hopefully, we can see it in a totally different light. It's time to reframe this whole thing, not as a cost to be cut, but as an investment to be made.
And this slide just lays it all out, plain and simple. The perceived cost is just the salary of that second professional. But the real cost, the cost of cutting that corner, well, that could be a deal-breaking misunderstanding, a confused and frustrated audience, or even real, lasting damage to your company's reputation. When you put those two side by side, the choice becomes pretty clear, doesn't it?
So, what's the big takeaway here? The bottom line is this. Hiring a team of 2 interpreters for any event that's longer than an hour isn't really an expense, it's a direct investment in the success and clarity of your communication. Think of it like quality assurance for your entire event.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Think back to an event you went to where interpreters were working. What was that experience like for you?
And now that you know about the intense mental marathon they're running in that little booth, what might you notice or maybe even do differently next time? It's a great way to appreciate all that invisible work that makes our global conversations even possible.